Legal doesn't mean ethical. So whether you're saying that your ancestors came here and legally committed genocide, or that they came later and immigrated legally according to American laws, this is a great time to talk about how incredibly and explicitly racist legal immigration in America has traditionally been. And why, for hundreds of years, while your family could immigrate to the United States, mine could not legally immigrate here until 1965. There's a few laws we're going to talk about. The Naturalization Act of 1790, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the Immigration Act of 1917, the Immigration Act of 1924, and finally, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. The Naturalization Act of 1790 stated that only white Americans could be naturalized into citizens. That is the foundation of all immigration in the United States, that ultimately only white people could be citizens. The first Immigration Act to actually bar anyone else from coming was the Chinese Exclusion Act, which, as you can guess, banned Chinese people from immigrating to the United States. Now, the Immigration Acts of 1917 and 1924 are really important. The 1917 Act created an Asiatic barred zone, which basically said that anyone from any of these countries could not immigrate to the US. Now, 1924, things get really interesting, and a quota system per country is created. And this quota system is based off of previous census data. Here's an old New York Times article talking about the new act. It says, effect of new immigration legislation described by Senate sponsor of the bill is to preserve racial type as it exists here today. And through these quotas, Germany could have 67,000 immigrants a year, Italy 42,000, Russia 24,000. But the entirety of Asia got 1,066 visas, and the entirety of Africa, the continent, got 122 visas. So basically, to legally immigrate into the United States until 1965, you just had to be white. Now here's what happened in 1965, the Civil Rights Movement. Because the Civil Rights Act said that you could not discriminate against someone because of their race, ethnicity, or nationality. So it was only after the Civil Rights Movement and the Nationality and Immigration Act of 1965 could other people immigrate to the US. And visas would largely be obtained by either having a specific skill set that would be beneficial to the United States or family reunification. My parents got visas based off of academic merit. To say that would be too light. My father got 5 degrees from MIT. He's brilliant. And here's the thing. People of color, in order to immigrate to the US, have to be brilliant. While the majority of the United States, the ones who were not forcibly brought here, were just allowed to come in. And to be clear, even though my parents are brilliant, are exceptional, I don't think you should need to be exceptional to live here. I'm going to end with a quote from Hitler, who admired the United States for how racist they are. The American Union categorically refuses the immigration of physically unhealthy elements and simply excludes the immigration of certain races.